Really, what was actually happening was that I was modeling my after him.
Yeah.
But I thought that we just coincidentally were the same.
Yeah.
And then
he looks Indian too.
He actually looks way less Indian.
He looks like every Indian guy that ever existed, according to our fans.
Yeah. All right, this is a question from one of our esteemed patrons, Apple.
Hi, Apple.
Apple.
Apple always got a lot of good stuff. At any point in your life, did you ever have somebody that could be considered either an arch-nemesis or a rival?
Of course.
Who is that?
My ex-friend Steve.
Your ex-friend Steve?
My ex-friend Steve, who tried to steal my girlfriend, and I fucking got revenge on him, yeah.
Got him
He
back.
tried to steal your girlfriend?
You remember the musical episode?
Yeah.
Oh, that one.
Yeah, that guy.
Motherfucker.
The one that was talking shit about you behind your back to her.
But was he, so he was understood on his half as well that you were his rival?
No.
It came
He
like
found
that
out
after?
when I gave him the phone call and told him how's it feel now that she was on the other foot, you son of a bitch.
Got him.
Whoa.
Got him good.
That was a dagger and then the turn, dude.
Thought about it for months.
How long was that rivalry?
I mean, I finished the sucker in 3 months, so not long.
Steve was like, it really wasn't much of a rivalry. It was
No.
more of a decimation. It
Yeah.
was an avalanche.
It's easy to take out the little men. It's very easy.
Yeah. Did you ever have any rivalries for like fighting when you were starting out, or like even now? Like anybody that you...
Or even a rival
Ron
guy.
knocked out. He knocked out my teammate twice.
That wasn't a rivalry though. We're friends.
I know, but still.
It's nice.
But like a friendly rival.
Why would you knock out your friend? That's fucked up.
Yeah, why'd you knock out my friend, man?
Hey, dude, I just read Twitter and Reddit, and like, I think it's pretty fucked up to knock out your friend. I don't need to know more.
Did you have any rivals in the gym? You know, sometimes like two people in the same weight class or whatever. Like, did you have like?
No, it's weird. I know. I have no issues with anybody like ever. It's weird. I know it sounds super made up, but I don't think.
No, I believe it.
Everyone loves you though.
Yeah, everyone loves Ron.
Yeah, it's
But then those
Yeah,
are the
it's
people
weird.
that get hated on the most in secret.
Really?
I don't know
Think so?
anyone that doesn't like Ron.
Ron, you ever been in a restaurant and like no waiters come for like an hour, and you're just like, son of a bitch.
No, it's
That just sounds like Europe.
Honestly, like I can speak for Ron. Ron probably only eats at all friends' restaurants. Like literally everyone.
He's just so supportive.
Everyone loves Ron. It's great. Like I'll be like, me and like Ron will be training, and I'm like, oh, you know what? I kind of want to like get my car wrapped. He goes, dude, I know a guy. Yeah. And then I'll go, and then I'm like, I'll go visit him, and then he'll be like, oh, how do you know whatever? And I'm like, oh, I know Ron. And he was like, oh, you know Ron? And all of a sudden we're best friends. And every single person I meet.
He's the mayor of every room he's in.
Dude,
Yeah,
honestly.
exactly. Like everyone loves Ron.
Yeah.
And then we went to go eat in Vegas, and then you ate under a fucking fake alias. And then he's like, oh, don't worry, we ate at some fucking fancy ass Italian place. And then, cause he was like, I don't know, he's like, oh, is this a table of 4 for Charles or some shit? What name did you use?
Henry.
Henry. It's a table of 4 for Henry. And I looked at Ron, I'm like, Henry?
You don't look like a Henry.
So apparently Ron has a
Jack some guy's resi.
So I think Ron has a baller ass friend that was like, yo, like just you can get into anywhere, get tables anywhere, just go under my name. Like for the last, I don't know how long I've known Ron, maybe like 6-7 years. Everyone loves him. It's crazy.
I believe it.
There's got to be one guy that knows everyone loves you and is like, I hate that everyone
that
loves
guy.
him.
What do you think it would be? Is there anybody you could think of that will like fucking Ron?
Usually those people are the ones that have competition with you and you thought they were like your friend.
Yeah, secret.
I've had those instead of rivalries
you've had
where it's
that?
just kind of like afterwards you're like, man, you were competing with me this. I wish I knew. I would have competed. I would have gave you real competition. But just the fact that you're existing, they were fighting toward like stomping on you, but you're not. It's effortless.
At what period was that when someone was like secretly competitive? Was that like during the Parada?
Yeah, I mean throughout life. Yeah, there'll be instances of that where people were just like, I found out later that they were competing against me, and I was like, what? And me? And then I wish I knew, because then if I like competition, right? So if I knew, then it's like, let's fucking go then, bitch. And then like,
But that might be too much for them.
Sometimes it is.
I don't know.
I think for most people it is. Like competition like that?
Like actual.
Like knowing that it's gonna be me
Stated competition.
versus you. I think there's a certain type of breed that like actually want that smoke. And then like have it open
Yeah.
about it.
But it's like that frenemy jealousy shit, where they see you doing good, and then they're like, oh, I can't wait till I'm better, and I can show them this. and then I think they use that as motivation. And I don't know how harmful it is, because like,
Could be really bad. Could be really bad.
Well, I never got into the whole thing where like it's affected me because they were trying to destroy me. It's always been like, I think they just wanted to one up me, so they had a secret competition every time I did well or whatever, and then like later I found out like
It's more like a game of catch up than it is competition.
But it was a one-sided rivalry. Yeah. And I know other people go through that too.
Yeah. I feel like I've had a one-sided rivalry to where like when I was first starting out in b-boy tournaments and stuff, there was a dude that like I was a really big fan of this crew. This crew was called BAM Tribe. It was like the premier like Asian b-boy crew of this area. And they had just all the coolest guys were in it. Like just all people that you could tell were individually popular wherever the fuck they were coming from. Like one dude had dreads, like, you know, like all the cool types of different Filipino guys. Yeah. It was like you just mashed them all together, but it was so underground, and it still is to this day. But there was a dude that looked like the counterpart of me. At least I imagined he did. Yeah. And a lot of the time I just imagined that, oh, that's the guy that I need to beat, because like I imagined we had a similar aesthetic. He was levels above me. I imagined we had a similar vibe and everything, but really what was actually happening was that I was modeling my shit after him. Yeah. But I thought that we just coincidentally were the same. Yeah. And then
he looks Indian too.
He actually looks way less Indian.
He looks like every Indian guy that ever existed, according to our fans.
Yeah, he was a Bollywood superstar. But so eventually, I never actually got to know him. But we would like, if I had to battle him in the bracket, like he was super like he would go super hard and I would lose. And then one day when I finally won against him, like I hope that like that was like a sign of like maybe I earned his respect a little bit. And then I started talking to him, and he's just the coolest guy. And I told him like years later, like we had like a lunch, and I just wanted to tell him like, yo, like I might have looked like I was just jocking your guys' crew, but really like my idea of Quest Crew was like a version of your crew. Wow. And he had no idea that like he was an inspiration. Yeah. He thought that I was just annoying. Like I was just always on his ass. Like I was always trying to take him out. But it's like, no, dude, like I realized later in life, I wanted to be like you. Oh, and it was like a really big moment.
And now that I have beaten you, I can tell you.
I will always
rub him on his head and you walk away.
I'll always think he's better.
Now that I have bested you in battle, in combat.
And you will cover the bill, correct?
But that's the thing that I always wanted to say, but I wanted to earn the right to speak. I was like, I want to at least meet you at your level for a moment.
I feel like that's lost upon him.
Yeah, like I don't think that I'm better than him. I just wanted to at least get here. Eye level, so I could be like, hey, let me tell you the real shit, and then I could drop back down and be like,
did you use the move?
What's the move?
The move beat him. The one where you jump on your fucking head and spin around. Is that what bested him?
I don't even. Not that round. No, not that round.
He didn't even need it, dude.
But that was actually the first. I think it was the first competition where I did do that, but it was in the bracket prior to him. So he saw that, and even in the video of me doing that, you can see one of his friends. Like, this is so funny because like, who would have thought I would notice this shit? But in like our fucking camcorder videos of all our battles, you can see that when I go out, he's still in the crowd watching the battles, and we like have the same fucking hair and everything. And his friend across goes like this. He points at me and goes, to say that I look like him, and then that guy goes to his friend and goes. Because it's like I'm annoying to him that I always fucking look like the guy. But in my head I built this scenario that like, oh, we just like happen to look the same. It's like I was fucking looking like.
Well, you do that when you're younger.
Fucking psychopath, dude. I think that Ryan's wild is maybe an understatement.
Yeah. Ryan is Michael Jordan, dude.
Yeah, because I would study my footage and go like, oh shit, like it's like a thing where like he knows that people are always like.
But you're watching you're not seeing the footage.
You're watching the crowd. Yeah, dude.
But Ryan's like, and that's when I took that personal.
Yeah. We would do that to make sure that like if people were feeling what we did, then we would know like, oh, it's cool. Because like you could see someone go, and we go, oh, it got acknowledged, the thing you did, the details. But then I noticed that I was like, hey, there's a whole side conversation right here. But yeah.
Even though you did it in a different time, you did the head move that day.
I did, yeah.
You think you got in his head doing that shit? Like his camp is like the moves are too good. We can't.
I think he noticed that I did improve, and he told me that I did get better. But it's cool because we developed like he's a generation above me, and now like we developed like a relationship of like, hey man, like he looks at me like one of the people that rightfully does credit his crew, which really you can't even. It's hard to find.
You can't even Google these guys.
No.
You buried them so deep under the earth that you have to fucking use an excavator and shit.
You have to go to the library and pull out old documents.
No, they just.
You gotta hire fucking archaeologists and shit.
I think, in my
There's
opinion,
a crew.
yeah, I think it's a crew.
This is maybe the symbol they use. No, it's not. Never mind. We have to go deeper.
I think it's really like they put it down more than Quest did. I think, but there's just no record. It's very.
That is a full burial, dude. That is a full-fledged funeral.
That's a fossil, dude.
Dude, that is like the Undertaker versus Mankind.
Stupid. Through 4 tables. It just predates. It predates YouTube so far.
Except, imagine nobody remembers Mankind's name.
Yeah. Whoa.
That's what this
I don't want to live in that world. Wow.
Jesus.
Who's Mankind's brother?
Wait, Mick Foley is Mankind.
Yeah. He doesn't have a brother.
Does he have a brother?
No, dude.
I don't think so. Kane is Undertaker's brother.
Oh, that's what I'm thinking of. Kane and
Kane actually showed his face that one time.
You should be embarrassed. You want to delete
He
that?
showed his face that whole time where he ran for mayor, dude.
Oh yeah, outside of wrestling.
You have a future in that too. Just a gut feeling.
Don't make any rivals along the way. You didn't have a rival when you were like doing.
Nah, dude. I think I was.
What about at the gym? I know there's like, your old gym.
I had like friendly rivals.
There's some trainers that are kind of annoying too, right? You'd be like,
oh yeah, but
like people trying to poach clients and shit.
yeah, potentially, but it was more of like, I don't want to say like I had a rival. It was more of like friendly competition in the way of like, man, I want to be where that dude's at.
Oh, like healthy competition.
Yeah, like I want to strive for what that.
Oh,
guy
that's
has,
cool.
or,
Yeah.
you know. But then those people eventually became my friends. Like it was just more of like, oh, okay, because I would like pick their brain on how they do things, and I thought it was really interesting. And like, I really like learning about the process that way.
Right.
Like even picking your brain about stuff, I'm like, that's fucking tight.
We're rivals
Never
now?
thought- Not rivals, but like,
Can you imagine if this was a rivalry?
but a little bit.
Forced to be there.
Yeah.
A little bit.
I can see it.
Actually, yeah. Actually, no. Rivals on, dude. Rivalries on.
Actually, you're the villain. You're the villain. I'm the hero.
I'm gonna fucking kill you, dude.
That's fucked up, man.
No, but not really. I don't think I've had anything like that.
No Arch-Nemesis that you're aware of?
Sometimes don't you wish you did? Cause like,
Yeah.
you know, if you were Coke and you had a Pepsi,
Yeah.
it
It would push you farther.
it does.
Yeah.
It not
Metal
only does
sharpens
it
metal, bro.
it helps your business too.
I think for a while though, I was afraid of competition in a lot of ways because I was afraid of like failing.
But you're a competitive motherfucker. You got into fighting.
But I know, but I think I had the wrong mindset going into it. And then now as I'm getting older, I realize like the value in kind of creating your own metrics, kind of like how Jordan does it, right?
Yeah.
How he just like kind of stacks certain things in his mind, so then it helps him push him a little bit farther. But then again, it's like you realize that having that competitive mindset is a mindset that you just have to be. Because I think I was so far the opposite way. So thinking with more competitive mindset is, I think, is helpful for me.
Dude, I hate Cardano holders. Straight up. And I want to destroy them. And I do destroy them. 14% in 6 months. I'd kill myself.
Yeah.
But you know why you don't want to destroy your competition to the point of death?
Why?
Because you want something of low quality out there so people can value you better.
Yeah, for sure.
That's fair.
So like, to me, it makes no sense
true.
to monopolize. Like, monopolies are actually not that great because overall, there's gonna be someone else that comes and disrupts you, and they'll eventually win because you didn't upgrade, because there was no competition. You didn't, do anything to sharpen your tools.
You know what's funny? I bet when you guys first started JKnews, there were a lot of channels that viewed you as a
Rivals.
Yeah, other people try to copy
Yeah.
and they just sucked.
He's talking about the Fung brothers.
Dang.
I'm just being a writer, dude. If David hates him, I hate him.
You hate everyone David hates?
David hates him, I hate him. Yeah. That's true. It's just simple. I'm just a writer. I ride.
You feel like they were trying to steal your guys' shit?
I don't think so. I think people have blatantly told us, like, "Hey, this format's cool." Other people, they came on as a guest, and then all of a sudden, you see them use the same exact format with the news, and then they just couldn't have an interesting conversation.
Timmy did that, and he owned it. He told you guys.
Oh, he did?
Yeah,
I don't
he was
know.
like, I did that shit, but like, yeah, we couldn't do it. It was too much work.
It wasn't cost effective.
So I mean, yeah, there are groups out there that we're not reinventing the wheel here. It's a bunch of people having a conversation.
You're reinventing a slightly square, bumpy ass wheel
An outdated.
that makes the car fucked up.
Oval wheel.
Still rolling.
We invented
Somehow.
the flat tire.
But I feel like it was such a first of its kind when you guys started doing it. I could totally see, and I did.
It still kind of is though.
I did see a lot of people like really try to switch their channels to being more like that.
But I mean, podcasts are really cracking right now.
Yeah. Mhm.
And then there's roundtable discussions that live stream for like 3 hours. Like, there's a lot of
There's
different.
Twitter spaces that go for fucking 24 hours, dude.
Yeah.
What the fuck are people doing?
But they're there though, and then they're doing really good. But I don't really know. So like they used to compare us to Wong Fu a lot, but
That's very different.
yeah. It's really different. But
think it's just 'cause
that's when we did shorts.
The only two Asians doing like short film or like sketches or whatever.
Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah.
The thing about early Asian YouTube is we were all in collaboration with each other. It was a dope era. It was so fucking cool. Even within the dance world too. Like, and it's just like, man, that was a good time because
This is the pre-monetization days.
monetization.
I caught that.
You got like that shit?
But it was such a like, I didn't, at least maybe there was rivalry in other like small little niche groups, right? I didn't feel it. It felt dope. It felt like, let's work together. Let's do this. Let's do that.
Interesting. I wonder how many of those people like just one-sidedly viewed you guys as the target because it was a way to aspire. It must have been a lot.
For sure, you guys have to be like that to somebody. Do you guys ever?
Yeah, but there's no one there that still topped us, and we're still here.
Somehow.
Still here.
I know. If we don't die soon, we have to get tattoos. So can
I know.
someone, the enemy, reveal yourself.
Someone take it.
Please.
Make your plan.
I don't want a tattoo.
Coming up. It's like August.
We went on the Jumpers Junk podcast, and there's like other podcast groups that are pretty interesting. Gen Z, yeah, but I see them as like podcast.
Yeah, and they see the JK as like tribute. They always like big up JK.
Yeah, and that's a difference, right? It's not rivalry. It's like no.
It's like inspo.
Yeah. And it's a different generation.
Exactly.
Like, so
Different gen.
I feel like we're not even in direct competition because they have their own audience. We have our own audience,
Oh, you know what might be something for you? Did you ever have a rival in a writer's room? Because that shit happens a lot.
All the time. But it was the joke. It was always the joke. It was always to get your joke in. Like, the person wasn't really the thing for me. It was always getting your joke in.
There was no one that was trying to like. You could feel them trying to get their joke in past your joke or something.
No, because we just had each other's backs. It's very much like JK. Like, it was like, we all are competing with each other, yes. But to get your joke, to make the project funnier.
To make the whole project.
Yeah. And like, it made me a better listener, honestly. Because like, I think going in there, I was very rigid with that. My joke. I want to get my joke in, right? Me. But then I became much more of like I got why it matters so much to have so many different voices in the room. Because
Did you feel like you had a mentor in that room that helped with that, or is this?
I had a mentor at improv that helped me with that, for sure. That helped me carry that mindset into the writer's room, or at least learn from it quickly. Yeah. Because my mentor, his name was Trenton, he was an improviser, and he just basically told me like why I sucked at improv, and it made me cry. Not into his face, because I wasn't a bitch, but I went in my truck. I went and cried. I was living in San Diego at the time. I was very young. I was like just
in the truck bed, just arms crossed, like a vampire.
Punching heads rest.
But he was telling me that he's like, you're making it about you. Like you can't make it about you. It's about your partner. It's always about making your partner look good, right? And that was huge for me. And you could just be a cocky asshole, right? And go, no, I'm not the problem. I'm the fucking solution, or whatever. Dude,
That's a gangster line.
I was really thankful for that because it really made me progress to a different point. Because you don't get anywhere if people don't want to work with you, right? Yeah. Like you really won't get very, very far. You could get like to a certain level, but you'll never get very far. And so, yeah, making so people want to work with me was huge after that. And like I really got the collaborative spirit more, and I look forward to it more. So to answer your question, like getting the joke through to make the thing better was always more important to me than just making it about me, or even getting credit. You know, like I remember writing. I wrote like a bunch of shit that like nobody even knows I wrote, because like that's how it works in that land.
Did you ever have a person when you were first starting YouTube? Was there a person that was copying you verbatim every step of the way? Because you were the first for a lot of shit.
Yeah, there was, but they didn't get what I was doing really. Like I don't, and I'm not complimenting myself. I just think that like it's like JK. You guys knew exactly what you were doing, and or, like to a degree, like you guys were making it up as you go, like we all were. But you guys knew what you wanted to do, and like what your mission statement was. And I think that a lot of people, when they're copying something, they don't have that heart to it. There's no soul to it that way.
They're just observing a successful formula,
Yes.
and then they just do it.
Duplication.
But they're like the swap meet bootleg version of it.
And people know that people can feel it, and people are really, really, you know, we give the audience hell sometimes, like, or at least the prototypical idea of an audience person, like, oh, I'm sitting on the couch, I'm drooling, I'm watching, I'm consuming content, but they really do see things. That's why cameras get up close, right? We need a close up because we need to see the human expression to be conveyed easily to the audience, and people are really, really smart with that, and the lizard brain catches all. So yeah, I just think they couldn't figure out what I was doing, and even watching like some of the prank stuff that I watch now where people go like, oh, I got into pranks because of you. I'm like, don't tell me that, dude.
Because yours was the anti-prank. That is stupid to miss the message and go, I got into pranks too.
Yeah. Like, hey dude, I did the breaking into your house prank. Please check it out and like let me know what you think.
I just saw this one where they did an ATM robbery prank, and all they were doing was guys that were pulling out money from the ATM. They came up and they went behind and held them.
Oh my god!
And then a guy that was so he went up and did this, right? And a bystander saw, and he turned around and he smacked him in the face, and he had a bloody nose, and he was like, "It was just a prank." And it's like, where's the prank?
You're robbing people, you dumbass.
What is the prank? I
What's
don't
the
understand.
Because to them, they don't know the fucking difference.
Yeah, they're just trying to be Steve Greene. The prank king.
That's like me coming up to someone with a gun on their head and saying, "Give me all your fucking money," and then they're like, "Ah!" Right? And then they're screaming, and you're like, "It's a prank, you moron!"
Don't overreact.
And it's funny because how many waves of resurgence of bad prank tube are we gonna see? Because it always goes like this, right?
I feel like it's only bad now. Like it's, I haven't seen a good YouTube prank in a while.
But there's still very few people that prank the prank. Like what Steve was doing. Very, very little people know how to capture that art.
But that's why it's the best.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fun, dude. It was really fun. But YouTube hates satire, and they told me so many times.